What is going on, guys? We're back at that special time of year. I got 1 week until season opens up here in Wisconsin, well, really across the border. And I could not be more ready than I've ever been. I've scouted 15, 20 days, pretty much all through July and August. But that's besides the point. Here, right before season opens, I'm gonna go through my 2024 bow setup. It has not changed much from last year. The arrows I kind of changed right at the end of season last year, and those have stayed the same. Bow is pretty much the same with a couple changes, release change, that kind of stuff. I just want to quickly run you guys through everything, and if you have questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll try to answer as many as I can. So, base of the bow is a Mathews V3X 29.5. This bow has fit me perfectly. I had the VXR 28 before this, and that was probably a little bit short for me. I have a really short draw length. I'm a 26.5 inch draw. I got stubby arms. I don't know where they came from, but just got to deal with it. So 26.5 inch draw. I'm pulling 74 pounds at the moment, and my arrows are flying right at like 272 feet a second. I put that through the chrono. And those arrows being these right here are the Victory Rip TKO. I've got them cut down. I don't remember the exact length I've got them cut down to, but they're just in front of the arrow rest, maybe half an inch or so. I've got iron will 10 grain collars on the end of them, and then I use the Easton brass hit insert that I snip the end off of, so it's only 50 grains. So I've got 50 grains in the insert, I've got 10 grains in a collar, and then I'm shooting the Sever 1.5 hybrids this year. I want to give them a try, and with being a shorter draw length and not getting quite the momentum or the force that some of the longer draw guys do, I try to keep it to a smaller broadhead. I do like mechanicals for the relief that they give when it comes to like errors in your form, especially in the heat of the moment. And the Severs treated me really well last year, so I tried the 1.5 hybrids, which are brand new for this year. I'll let you guys know how those do after the season. But we've got essentially 160 grains up front, because you've got 100 grain broadhead, 50 grain brass hit insert, and then the 10 grain collar. I've got the Victory Rip TKO, and then at the end, I've got 3 AAE Max Stealth vanes that I use the Arizona Easy Fletch with the Max Helical to the left, I believe. I don't know that really matters all that much, but most Mathews and my bow does clock to the left, so I just kind of kept that the same. But I've used that for quite a number of years, and that has worked really well for me. So we got AE Max Stealth in the back with the Max Helical, and then the Nocturnal lighted knock. After using lighted knocks, I don't know that I could ever go back to not using them unless it's not legal in a certain state. Just the ability to see that arrow flight, especially at last light and first light, and kind of giving you that peace of mind of knowing whether you hit a deer or did not. Because sometimes you can get those marginal shots that maybe hit a tree behind or something else and makes it sound like you hit them, but you really didn't. So lighted knocks are a must for me, and they just kind of look cool flying through the air. Now, getting to release, I guess, if we want to go over that next. I picked up the UltraView button release, the UV button, and I've really loved this. I picked it up on Black Friday last year, so I got a little bit of a discount on it, which was super nice. I'll probably pick a second one up before season starts, because you always want to have a backup. It's very easy to lose the handheld release, and I've just started using this, so I'm sure I'll lose one or two. But we'll see. They're pretty expensive, so you got to try to keep track of them. I may toss them on like a carabiner or like a wrist strap or something just to bring them into the woods, but I've had good luck with this. I've shot really well with it. I've shot a lot better than I did with my index finger, and I'm hoping that translates to the woods this year. All right, moving on to the bow itself. Again, this is the Mathews V3X 29.5, and then as we kind of go down, I swapped the strings on this. So these are A3 archery strings. I really love these strings. I used them on my VXR before, and they have not stretched on me. It maybe took 100 arrows to get them to break in and really just set that peep right and not twist anymore. And after that, I'm golden for probably 10 to 12,000 arrows. I got white this year just to match kind of like the all white theme that was going on, and I really like them. Very affordable. maybe like 100, I think it's 100 or 110 for the set of strings. I would highly recommend you go check them out. I'll leave a link in the description below. The guy that runs that is just a super good guy. So again, we'll move on. We've got A3 archery strings. Peep is the Hamsky Raptor. I really like just having that like hallway. Some guys don't like the hallway. I do kind of like having that hallway for a peep, and it's treated me really well. It can be kind of a pain to get to line up straight, but once you do, it's treated me super well after that. Moving on down, I guess next most obvious thing, I've got the Tight Spot. I believe it's the Rise. I'll have to double check what the actual model is, but it's a Tight Spot 5-arrow quiver. I had it on my VXR. I've transferred it over to this bow. I really like it. It comes off easy. I kind of put in a little hanging strap for myself. I think it did come with one, and it came with a plastic one, and I, as typical, either lost or broke it. I don't remember. But I've just tossed a piece of serving or D-loop material in there to hang it on the tree in front of me. When I'm out west, sadly I don't get to go this year, I'll leave it on the bow. When I'm in the tree stand, I pop it off, so I just add a little hanger. Again, 5 arrows in there. And then biggest addition that I've made this year compared to last year is the UV slider here. I will put a forewarning out there. I did not pay full price. I was on my local Facebook marketplace, and a guy had bought one and then was getting rid of it. I don't know why he gave such a good deal, but I did get it for, I think it was $350. So at that price, I figured that it was better than most of the sites at that specific price point on the market. It was pretty much brand new. It came with a single pin. I did swap in the 4-pin cartridge, and I've really liked it so far. Granted, I've only shot it for probably 2 months now, maybe 3 months. So I will give a better, more in-depth review of it after the season, just because I want to see how I want to put it through its paces, kind of get it dirty, bump it on some things, and see how it sort of holds itself up over the course of a full season. So I will give an after action report essentially after the season is over. So you can look for that after the season's over. Moving on down, I have the Ultra Rest or the QAD Ultra Rest, the HDX. I haven't gotten into the integrated stuff yet. I just haven't found the need to kind of pay that extra premium to get into the integrated when I already had this set up. I had this on the VXR as well. It's treated me well, kind of like a lot of the other stuff on here, and I'm very much an if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of guy. Moving on down from there, we've got the UV grip. This is the Gen 1. I may switch to the Gen 2 just to get kind of matching colorway, but for now, this thing is perfect. I do like it a lot more than the Matthews Engage that comes on it in the first place. That Matthews Engage, I believe it's called the Engage, but that stock grip kind of rolls. The corners are rounded and it rolls in my hand quite a bit. And then once I got this, it's got the hard corners, and you can really kind of push into the back side of it, right in, get right your thumb over the top and just push right in the back side, and it stays perfectly flat, which I really like. Moving on down to the stabilizer setup, last but not least. These are Stokerized stabilizers. I do have the front and the back bar. They are both on the Matthews quick disconnects. So I've got the Matthews quick disconnect on the front, and the Stokerized bar is 11 inches, I do believe. So it comes out to roughly like 12 inches off the bow, which might seem long for some whitetail guys. But the one thing that kind of woke me up to the idea of a longer stabilizer versus maybe your traditional short stubby stabilizer that a lot of whitetail guys like is if you put an arrow and you have an arrow sitting in your bow, if that stabilizer is shorter than your arrow, then it's really not making any extra, it's not getting in the way any more than your arrow does. So if you can maneuver around in the tree and you have something that's your full length arrow sticking out, as long as your stabilizer is shorter than that, you're not adding any extra bulk necessarily to kind of move through the tree. So I really like this. It's a balance between kind of getting super long and then the super stubby one. So I've got an 11.5 inch front bar with 1 ounce on the front, and then we've got a 8. It's either a 6 or an 8. I do believe they still sell these, but I'm not completely sure on that. I'd have to double check. But it's a 6 or an 8-inch back bar. I believe it's 8, and I put 4 ounces on the back and I kick it out. I've got it set at 4 and then 4. If you look on that Matthews setting, it's 4 down and then 4 over to the side. If anybody's curious about that, and that's worked out really well for me. So yeah, that's kind of the bow for this year. Hopefully come next Saturday, it's starting to put some arrows in animals, and I can start getting some hunting videos out to you guys again, because those do seem to do the best as per usual. But season is right around the corner. I am super excited. If you guys have questions or videos that you'd like to see throughout the season, whether it's about gear, hunting related, whatever it might be, comment below. Please hit that subscribe button, and then hit that like button. It really does help out. And I will see you guys in the next video.